Hi YouTubers, this is Chris on Jobs on the House. During the summer my daughter was going to sell her house and asked me to come and have a look at the property to see my thoughts on the job. Immediately I look at the front of the house and I see that there's got a decrepit old porch there, and I told her that it needs to be either changed, pulled down or something done with it. I got some Indian stone in the garden, and so what I decided to do for her was to give her a facelift by taking off the side panels and building up the side in Indian stone. Then when we looked at it again, it was better to have a roof on, a pitched roof. Take the flat roof off, put a pitched roof in. It got a crazy bar down it, so she couldn't get a pushchair in or out the front door. So we said we'd get rid of the front bar. And that means that I had to deal with the front porch on the tiling of the floor, take the bar out, reconstruct that and make that look aesthetically better. And so as I did that, the next door neighbours also asked me to do their job because they had a similar porch. And so I did next doors. And through this project, I'm going to show you exactly what I did.
Okay, what you see here is the porch. This is the flat roof. The electrics are all enclosed inside the porch. This is the bottom, the step out. And as you can see, it's all frostbitten over the years. So we start by removing all the outer cladding, which is a plastic UPVC, and we find that underneath that is a kind of wooden frame which is 2x2, and underneath that is a polythene sheet that keeps it dry and moisture damp out. And so we remove all this so that we can expose the brickwork and start the cladding on the outside, which I'll show you now how I do that. What we've done, we've taken a line from the original brickwork, a straight line up, and then with a disc cutter, obviously gloves and glasses, we've cut two lines down, with a bolster chisel, with a bolster hammer and chisel, we chisel them out. Make sure the cavities clear out. What that's for is that when we're building up, the bricks have got to tie in. So I'll do another pocket higher up, but we're not going to use brick, we're going to use stone, Indian stone in the barrow there to make it a feature. Okay. We're going to use these Indian stone. Now they're different sizes, as you can see, different widths, and they're shaped quite strange because these are used to go as paving, but as we're trying to save money, we're trying to use what we can and what we've got lying about, and we're just making this look better for resale. So I'm going to try and lay them, and when they point it up, it should look nice. With Indian stone, what you have to do is check the sizes as you're laying them. What I'm doing here is looking through the pile and getting a brick that's very similar size and then laying them all in one row so that that row is of equal size, as you can see I'm doing here, and then it works in aesthetically, looks better. As we're bricking through, that's the tiling there, so we've tied it in block. Give the wall stability. And then again up there. And what we'll do here is put another post down there, screw it to the wall because that's solid, and then that will come out and screw to that, and that will stabilise everything. Because this is just a facade, it's just a brick facade for the porch. We've had these Indian stones lying around for years in the garden. We did the path, so now coming in nicely for the porch. If you haven't got a disc cutter, you need to cut the blocks like this. Use a bolster chisel, any kind of hammer, and keep turning it round by chopping one side then another side like I'm doing here. This sends shockwave right through the brick
and will contain the cut on where you're cutting it through. And usually give it one good thump and you're through. That's how you cut Indian stone if you haven't got a disc cutter.
I don't know how you managed to do that, but you managed to chip.
Yeah.
Tip, good way to start to lay the mortar is to roll it into a sausage, and then it comes off your trowel now. So if you need a nice trowel from it's nicely shaped, there you go. With these bricks it can't be too sloppy because they don't soak up the cement. What happens is it starts to bleed out, but I leave this for a reason, so that I can point it afterwards when it's gone off.
Where should you?
It's a natural stone. And so they'll all clean up nicely.
Okay, again I've got to start to view the bricks. I take them off the pile and I just check them through, spin them around, see which is kind of the size I want to start with, because I've got to have a lead brick, and I've got to just check through to see if I've got enough to take a lead brick through, and then they'll all be the same.
See, that's a terrible shape. See how they're shaped? That square. Really got to try and pick out ones that are good, and they're thin compared to being thick. Got to have good ones for this front. Have you got any more?
Always put a corner brick on like this, and then the rest can be levelled through from that lead brick. Once you've got that levelled, the rest will follow.
Ooh, it's not. Something's cooking. Got a bubble. That's why I'll be tapping it down. Now that we've finished the bricklaying, we need to point it up and give it a finish. And with this stonework, maybe to make it look nice, it's better to use a broom handle. It's rounded, but you need to wait till it's gone pretty hard. It's too soft at the top. To get a nice finish, what you need to do is do your joints first like this. The key is waiting till the mortar's reasonably gone off. Otherwise it smudges over the brickwork, and you don't want a bucket handle. It's better with a piece of wood, because it doesn't give a smooth edge. It's better to have a rough edge, and then the key is to have a brush, and just to brush it. And then it brings the features, it brings the brickwork out, stone, the natural stone.